You need to start or restart your business, and you need to think of new ideas, something that you can take and grow a business on, whether it's online or offline. Well, in this video, I'm going to share some secrets that I've used through the years to help me come up with new ideas to help me grow and create new businesses. And the simple thing is, sometimes the old ways, the things that you've been doing in the past just don't work anymore. And maybe that's why you have to restart your business. But if you want to create something new, you need to shift your thinking and think in new ways. And that's really what I want to get into, because I teach the combination code, and it helps people create something new. And I'm going to go through part of that, but I'm also going to share the one thing that the greatest entrepreneurs do. Once we learn how, in this process that I'm going to share with you, how to create new ideas, I'm going to share with you the one thing that really got all of them where they needed to go. And it's really important. Another thing is that I have some timestamps in the description that'll help you come back to specific areas that maybe you want to review again or even skip ahead to. That's just fine. I want you to have the information that you need to help you grow. The first thing you need to do is take inventory of where you are right now. What is working, what is not? What are your core skills? What are your core abilities that you should hold on to and keep? Not necessarily trying to find something totally new. Because the thing is, when you go out to find something totally new, you're completely starting over. You have skills right now. You have information. You have things that you've done in your life that you can apply to an industry. You may go into a new industry. You may apply your gifts and talents in a new way. But if you can understand what your core is, what are you best at, and you can work from there. And that's what I highly recommend. So the first thing you need to do is get a book and start to write. Write down ideas. First, write down, these are my cores. These are the things that I am good at, that I have skill. And from there, we'll take it to another level. For example, here's a list of some of my core strengths. I'm an educator at heart. I've always educated. I've worked on stage. I've worked in the universities teaching. I have always been a teacher, podcasts and video. So that's something I know. It's a strength that I have. I also am a photographer and a videographer. I know how to set up websites really well. I'm not a great designer though, so there's something I need to make note of. I can set up the technicals really well, but I need to enlist designers. But I also am a really good SEO, search engine optimization, and many other areas of specialty. In some cases, maybe I can combine those areas of specialty to create something new. But for the most part, I understand my strengths and can build off of these strengths to get me started. After you write down and review everything that you know you're really good at, start to evaluate which of these things are actually still bringing in money right now. That's important because there are some things that you are good at that maybe you need to let go of or put on pause for a while. Doesn't mean you can never come back to them. Maybe they are great ideas for another time. But when you're in crisis mode or when you're in a recession, you need to work on the things that are bringing money right now and maybe bring in the other things later that maybe you can apply. Maybe you can apply those other core skills to areas of your business that you haven't tried before. So put things on pause that are not working. Let's get into the idea of how we're going to create new ideas. Now we understand our core. We understand what we're good at. Now we need to look at technology. We need to look at fashion trends, design, social trends. For example, social distancing or working from home. Can any of these things apply to what you're doing? Are there fashion trends that you see that are developing right now that you can apply to your ideas, to your core? How about technology such as maybe augmented reality or virtual reality or machine learning or G5 technology or 5G technology? I mean, these are things that you need to look at. Do some research. You need to dig in and see what is coming up. Doing a little research ahead of time and, in a sense, just start connecting with the experts in the area you want to go into so you can start getting a good vibe of what is the trend, what is happening. When society changes, when economics change, opinions change and priorities change. And you may have noticed that people's priorities around you may start to change a little bit. What are those priorities? What are people doing more of that you can tap into to come up with a new idea? Entrepreneurs are really good problem solvers. That's what they do. They solve problems. And to separate themselves from the competition, they use the combination code, combining the technologies in fashion, design, so forth, to improve the way in which they solve that problem. But sometimes it really is just coming up with a new idea to solve an everyday problem. You hear people now shifting into different gears and they're doing things a little bit differently. Well, what is it that they're complaining about? That's something you should tap into. Find a way to improve that. That is how you can make more money. I have ideas that I'm thinking about that I think will really improve my business once we are able to get out on the street again. This will probably be my last video from the studio for a while because we have a stay-at-home mandate now in the state of Michigan. I often talk about the combination code in these videos, 7531. And actually, in the description below, there is a download for you, so check it out if you haven't already. And the 3 in the 7531 is processes. And one of the things that you can do is work with processes and improve processes. And a process does not have to be complicated, nor does it have to be in a big manufacturing plant. A process is just steps along the way. Maybe you can cut out part of a process or improve a process. I think one of the greatest ways to develop new ideas is to start to think in extremes. Think about what if. What if you could do things at this high level, faster, higher quality, but less expensive, or taking something that people use every single day and just make it work better. These are problems that entrepreneurs solve and concepts that they use. They look at the extremes. And the thing is, just because you're thinking at the extreme does not mean you're always going to make that extreme. Don't be realistic. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't be realistic when you're developing from extremes, because from those ideas will come realistic, achievable ideas that you can develop along the way. So push yourself, push your ideas, combine things that you never thought could be combined, and see what happens. See what new ideas develop out of those. These are exercises. But you have to start with your core and then apply all of these ideas with the concept of the combination code and improve everything you can improve and solve problems that you didn't even know need solving, but for some reason the idea came to you or you heard it on the street. You have to have your ears open. You have to read. You have to be a part of the community. So the worst thing you can do is to try and do it all alone. The only part you do alone is understand your core. From there, it's about developing partnerships. It's about developing the right people in your life, bringing them in and letting them know that you want to work with them to help enact your vision. And maybe they have visions too that they can apply to your vision. So be open to other people's ideas, because maybe you can come up with something even better. But no matter what you do, the one thing that all the great entrepreneurs do simply they start. If you're interested in exploring your core values, hey, check out the next video.